need to understand that the right wallpaper can level up your decor in a big way. Super important. And number one, wallpaper is a major design feature that you need to plan your room around. So it's super important that you know exactly what you want to do with your space with the wallpaper. And it can be anything like, number one, a lot of people want to have some kind of accent wall, and wallpaper is a great solution. You can use it for things like a headboard wall in a bedroom. That's a great look. Perhaps it's a specialty wall in a living or dining area. That's fun. Entryways are great solutions for the right wallpaper. And even you can have a little fun with ceilings if you've got the right height and the right paper to do it. I love these big florals on the ceilings. Those are fantastic. Or that wonderful chevron basket. These are great looks, all achieved by wallpaper. Number two is wallpaper can also help you achieve a sense of height in your space, especially if you have a little bit lower ceilings. Two friends for you in the wallpaper business are the ombre that starts dark at the bottom and moves to light at the top. That's a great look and it's super elevating. The other one is vertical stripes, which are fantastic. Now, I personally prefer them a little softer in terms of contrast, but they create that line. Take them all the way to the ceiling, your room will feel like a tent. Now, number three is maybe you just want to add a pop of color or a little bit of visual texture to a certain space, like the end of this stairwell. That's beautiful. Or how about the yummy accent wall done in a black seagrass? That's an amazing look. So that's a pop of an emphasis of something. Wallpaper can do that as well. So number four is if you want to add a bit of a textural solution to your overall space, wallpaper is great for this. I love this one with the graffiti lines all over. It's very subtle, but there is definitely some depth that occurs. Or this beautiful animal pattern that's between the two colored cabinets. That's fantastic. And always one of my favorites is one of the fornicettis in the clouds. That's a beautiful look. It looks like it's a scene from the 1700s, but it actually is just a cloud-like texture, which is beautiful. So wallpapers do all these things and more for your space. The next step that's very important is to understand how the scale of the pattern and the colors determine how effective they're going to be in doing what you want them to do in your space. So for instance, for those dramatic, larger, important accent areas like ceilings, headboard walls, living and dining spaces, you can get away with large-scale patterns, even murals, and fairly strong color contrasts. I mean, look at this one that's all black with a bit of gold. That's important. Or this navy blue with a patterned ceiling. That's simply gorgeous. Or how about this pink floral mural, which is amazing. Oh my gosh. Or this fantastic, early 17th century painted scene behind the sofa. These are amazing and super important things that only wall covering can do for you. So what if you have smaller spaces that you're dealing with? Wall covering can still be your buddy, but there's a couple of rules. For instance, you want an option that's got to have less contrast and more overall pattern and smaller detail, or even just a texture like a seagrass. That's always good. You can use these kinds of wallpaper options for spaces like laundry rooms. Look how pretty this little one is. I love the ones with the little blowfish. The niches. This is a great solution for smaller, tighter textures. These beautiful blue patterns in these niches are gorgeous. Offices can be interesting done in textures or smaller stripes or just sort of a little bit of a graffiti texture. That's fine. Nurseries, bedrooms, those are all great for this tighter, smaller, less contrast imagery, but it does look beautiful and add a sense of depth to the spaces. Bathrooms, of course, we see a lot of bathrooms with wall coverings, but what you want to do is make sure that you're getting a tonal story happening with the wallpaper as opposed to something super strongly colored, which is always reserved for the special bathroom, the powder room, in which all rules are broken and you can do any scale and any color you want and basically go crazy because a powder is always a party. So guys, there's literally thousands and thousands of options of wallpaper. In fact, every time I talk to a client about it, their eyes roll back in their head. It's scary. It gets overwhelming. But You can easily narrow it down with two factors in mind. One, what is your design style statement? And number two, what is your overall color palette that you're already leaning towards that hopefully, if you planned it right, supports that style statement correctly? So, if you're leaning, say, towards some of the contemporary spaces that are style statements like organic modern, there's definitely some options there that you can get, being sure that the wallpaper replicates how the space feels and complements it. Scandi, there's some beautiful options here. Japandi, kind of two style statements that don't necessarily think about decorated walls, but they can absolutely work with them if you get the right ones. Mid-century modern, it's a rock star with wallpaper. There's a ton of options there. Or even if you're just doing something plain and contemporary, you can really rock some of these gorgeous graphics like the super graphics of the marble, or kind of this wall mural of an image in the distance. That's beautiful. Or something simple and saturated and sexy like this black seagrass. That's beautiful as well. Now, guys, if you're transitional or traditional in your style statements, the wall covering world is your oyster because it's been being used in those styles for centuries. Take a look at some of these beautiful transitional ones. I adore this one with the simple blue graphic on the yellow field. That's absolutely wonderful statement. Or how about just a saturated royal blue seagrass behind that gorgeous Chinese fan? That's amazing. Or let us not forget this beautiful entryway with the super graphic in black and white lines. Fabulous. Or how about even a chinoiserie statement, which is beautiful, but is done in front of a little contemporary freestanding tub. Those are all fabulous looks. Or a black and white toile pattern done in a farmhouse. These are great. Or if you want to go screaming hard on your traditional spaces, maybe you're grand millennial, maybe you're neo-Victorian, all of these spaces can feature wall covering if you do it the right way. I love this one that's called New Chateau. Okay, that's fine, but you better have 10-foot ceilings. But there's other beautiful ones like this gorgeous water lotus pattern, which I think is a beautiful one. Or perhaps you're feeling a little bit green. Put that chinoiserie style in a green background in a dining room or an office. That's a gorgeous look. Or maybe you're looking to do a study and you want something yummy and tasty and masculine. Oh my gosh, dig out the tartan plaids or just plain plaids. All of these are great wall covering solutions because they speak to the style statement and they speak to the color palette that's being used in the space. I know you guys are all excited to kind of add some wallpaper to your space, but before you start, there's 4 mistakes I've got that you want to make sure you don't make. Number 1, never put it on every wall and the ceiling. That is chaos, guys. That is visual chaos. Most patterns cannot change angle in an effective way, so it just creates visual chaos and you want to skip it. Number 2 is you want to skip busy, high contrast small patterns in kitchens, which is really where you need simple surfaces to work with. In fact, guys, I'd actually skip wallpaper altogether in kitchens. There's so much other eye candy going on, you don't need decorated walls as well. Number 3 is wallpaper can help you raise your ceiling heights, right? So when you're doing full walls, which means from the floor to the ceiling, you never want to stop it short of the ceiling for no reason other than unless you have major trim happening there. Then it may work, but your trick there is that you better have at least a 10-foot ceiling to work with. And number 4, guys, is never overplay it, as it ruins the effect of becoming a focal point. Oh my gosh, this room could have been fantastic, but the blue and white chevron literally on every wall surface is crazy making, not to mention the organic same blue and white carpet. It's a little bit too much. Where you can add it on all your surfaces and go to town is in your powder rooms. Oh my gosh, the standard powder room that we're going to see from here into eternity is the palm leaf powder room. Here's another beautiful one with, looks like birds and ferns all flying together in a gorgeous blue. These are fantastic. Powder rooms are a party, guys, so just do whatever you want in there. You waited for it? Here's my top tip for doing wall covering the right way for your space, which is do your homework first before you invest. Play this video back a couple of times because I cover those principles. And if you want to know more about wall covering and all things about your home decor, you definitely want to check out DezignSpace. It's a groovy, nothing on the planet like it, space to go and get your design solutions handled. Next up, check out this video. Hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you soon.